little energised. Right, the studio is really, really packed now. I'm like, whoa, where do all the people come from? Yeah, there's some people.
I'm going to do a story. I'm going to do an Insta story from behind here so you can see. If you go to Citizen Hub Instagram, you'll see behind us, we are filling up. Hold on. But there's more room for you. By the way, we have chairs. This happens every day in the Citizen Hub. It all gets rearranged constantly. So if you feel uncomfortable, grab a chair, grab a sofa, grab a bag, whatever. Just sit wherever you want. Sit on the benches here. Just don't touch anything over there. Let me just show you what's going on over here. Debs, give us a wave. I can see you. Beautiful. So you thought that was inspiring. You wait till what I've got coming for you next. It's gonna. Well,
who's here? Who's here? Because I need to double check. Actually, I don't know where I am. Let me put my glasses on. Oh, we've got Lewis. Lewis Kahraman.
Oh, you wait. Okay.
Nice.
Right. So.
How are we for time, Alex?
I think we're good. It's 10:00. We caught up a little bit. We're 10:02.
Oh, 2 minutes. Yeah. That's perfect.
So if we finish on time here, we might have a wee.
Yes, let's do that. Yeah, well, guys, we need to literally get everyone off because we need a wee. We need a wee. Okay. Who's going to be our fillers this
Okay, quiet in the studio. Quiet. You want to come and sit with me?
Yeah.
Mate, I just want a hug. Let me just give this man a hug. I miss you, brother.
Bless you, brother. Yes. Need a hug. Thank you. Yeah. I'm a bit emotional, but...
Are you alright? You're in a safe space, mate. You're in a safe space. You're in the best place to be.
Do I need to be here?
Yeah, just a little bit closer, that's it.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Okay. Okay, we good? Silly Nick. Bless you. Mate, this is going to fill up in here. Right. So, how would you like to start this conversation?
I guess I could just start with a bit about how I got into boxing.
Yeah.
So my dad owns a takeaway in Cambridge. I think I was about 8 years old, and this guy come in. He had a broken nose, and I looked at him. But I was really curious about what he does, and so I asked him, and he said he's a professional boxer. And I was like, oh, I want to get involved in boxing. I'm telling you this because it's quite funny. So my mum said she'll take me along to boxing, and I was like, okay. So I went. I think I was 8 or 9. I went. The smell was just so sensory, these sweaty gloves. And I remember going in, and the man was like, "Get some gloves," and they were just sweaty. And then there was this guy, and he was just hitting the pads "Ush, ush, 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 ush." And I was like, I started crying. I just burst into tears. And then, I just didn't go back. But obviously now I teach boxing, predominantly to young people in alternative education, all sorts of young people. But I do that very organically. But yeah, it's just interesting how that initial moment I burst into tears, didn't go back for until I was about 13. But I was always curious about boxing, so I kind of shared that because I thought, how did I continue? And I was really scared that day I went. I was really intimidated, and I didn't want to go back. But I pursued that passion that I have.
We were just talking to a guy called Dominic, who was talking about kind of recognizing pivoting in our careers or our dreams and whatever. And so sharing that story kind of shows that you had an idea and an initial activation, didn't like it, came back, and then kind of went back into it again, and that pivot in and of itself is absolutely fine. You went back to it.
Exactly, yeah.
You've been pivoting ever since, my friend.
Yeah. On my legs, yeah. To be honest as well, and I was going to also share, so I actually, because I, in the 90s, a lot of, Van Damme films, Bruce Lee.
Oh, mate.
So I got very involved in my dad was showing me he shouldn't have shown me those films, quite young, but I wanted to be like Van Damme. So I actually took up karate, and I wanted to highlight this again because I think this is key, and this is my approach when I coach. This was the first time I ever experienced mass humiliation, and it was from a coach that I had so it come to a week where you have karate gradings, and you have to remember a sequence. But I was really poor at that time at remembering stuff, maybe due to stress and like childhood stuff. And there was about 30 kids in the hall. I think there was more actually, but 30 in my group. I think I was going to go up to from white belt to I think it was yellow. And after I thought I'd done well, and he called me to the side. And he pointed at all the other kids and he goes, there's kids here younger than you and they remember the sequences. Why don't you? Why don't you?
Wow.
And I remember going to my parents and they were like, what's wrong? What's wrong? But I couldn't articulate that to them. I felt like a deep shame. He'd like shamed me in front of everyone. And that stuck with me, and I think that has shaped the way I kind of like approach young people. I never want to bring shame on them. I only want to affirm them. I only want to encourage them. So yeah.
Broken intergenerational trauma.
Exactly. Exactly. So I remember that time, and it was so, and he's like the head of this karate school. Like it's quite big. It was nationwide. And I just like, that stuck with me, that moment. And then obviously in hindsight, I'm only thinking now, as I've like reflected on why I'm coaching, I've used that time and try to make it into a positive. So never try to humiliate any person. Always be like, try to adapt to the person as well and be patient. You know, not everyone's going to get the skill of boxing or the skill of martial art. It's just having that patience to be with them.
You've got a person-centered approach, right?
Exactly.
A person-centered approach is taking that thing that everybody learns differently. Some people might never have felt humiliated by that. Some people might have felt challenged by it, activated by it. But you can't assume that everyone's going to feel that way.
Exactly.
So it's about picking up the nuances in personality, especially when you hold a position of authority. For me, it's about understanding that individual's needs and then applying your coaching skills or your teaching skills, teachers, to, you know, I promise, Rachel, I'm not going to talk about school. That's why,
It's like jab.
But it's about, and you know, it sounds as if your practice is taking that experience that you've had and never applying it and then doing something different, which is really nice to hear.
Yeah, I think because I now understand like how fragile I was as a kid and how sensitive I was to authority. Like, you know, I won't go into it too much, but my childhood was very like traumatic. And for me, for people to speak down on me, not to affirm me, not to encourage me, my whole self-worth
it's linked to that.
So, you know, that's why when I approach any young person or any person, I have that at the forefront of my mind, but also realize that as humans, we're fragile.
Yes.
And, you know, I could easily break someone with a word. They say sticks and stones may break your bones, but words will never hurt me. But that's the biggest lie going. Words, Gabor Mate says that words are really important. He's a trauma-informed counsellor. Like he's amazing, but and that's partly I love him as well, because he says he doesn't wish trauma upon anyone, but like it can be a great teacher and teach you wisdom. And I think that's what trauma has taught me in my life is wisdom. One example I wanted to give of that is when, so I was 21, I had a dear friend, like we were inseparable as kids, and we supported each other a lot in our kind of childhood trauma. But he sadly took his life 13, 14 years ago, quite horrifically and quite aggressively as well, but at that time I got into Thai boxing, really put all my energy into that. And again, hindsight is really good, but at the time I didn't realize I was grieving, but I was using all that kind of that grief, and I challenged it into my first competitive fight. I also had a mentor, which was my coach. So he was that father figure for me. He was encouraging me, but at the same time I had a positive outlet. I weren't taking that aggression out
on someone's face,
on someone in the street.
Yeah.
I was going into a competitive experience. I was allowed to bash the guy up. And I remember the first, the first week, I think after 2 weeks after my friend had passed away, I was fighting. That was my first fight. And I remember the guy had come out looking really big, and my mum was scared. And I Mum, I'm going to take it.
Yeah, I need to get rid
And
of
I
it.
just smashed him to pieces. But I didn't realize at the time I was using all that energy and all that grief and all that anxiety. I just took it out in the ring. It was a safe place.
It was a safe place. Maybe not for them.
No,
Right.
But it's a safe space, and that is that recognition. And even if you didn't understand it at the time, the recognition to your point, you know, hindsight, and that's why I think, especially for men as well. And I you know, I'm not talking from lived experience, but from my experience in my knowledge around mental health, that those situations that are not contained tend to be the arenas where damage is caused, not because of that person's intent to go out and hurt, but because of the holding down, the masking, the keeping it down, and then something sparking something and then exploding. And a lot of people end up ruining their lives as a result of that. They might end up incarcerated as a result of something that they didn't mean to do, but they were triggered and then they exploded. So having an outlet, especially for testosterone in men, is super important. You know, and that feeling of anger in a controlled arena.
It's really. You know what? I immediately got emotional when Lewis walks on this.
I saw that.
This guy, when I meet people, Sam walked in at the same time, which is really interesting. I met Lewis through Sam, and you can always trust a youth worker.
Oh, bless you,
I
brother.
appreciate you, man.
Yeah, he's really emotional. He's tired as well. He's
I'm
not
tired.
sleeping since 12 o'clock.
But I just want to know. I want you to know I appreciate you.
Yeah, bless you.
I know your story.
Likewise,
I know your story. I know.
Yeah.
I know what you're going through. I know what you've been through.
Yeah.
What you do is so important.
Thank you.
I know Sam would say the same.
Bless you. Thank you.
I haven't got any questions right now. You're going to have to carry me on this one.
Tell me more about kind of the coaching. So we've talked a little bit about your experience shaping what you do.
Yeah, exactly.
And you've talked about how important it is. And your job now as a coach.
Yes.
How much do you find yourself in a position of privilege for the young people that you look after?
Yeah, recently I wrote down like a vision that I have, because I've kind of been doing this for like 10 years, like on and off, working for like youth charities, working with a homeless shelter. And I think really I've kind of now trying to grasp what my vision is, and it's kind of to help young people, but in specific like those that are neat, those that come from childhood adverse trauma, those that have mental health issues, but for me to be like a guide and a role model. And so obviously like now I'm thinking I want to equip myself as much as possible, so I'm doing a mental health and exercise coach award.
Nice.
Which is kind of about shaping exercise around, not about like extrinsic motivations, but intrinsic. And then I'm using that, like I go to a school, the New Meaning Foundation in Waterbeach, and I've kind of noticed myself like in between, like using the pauses within the sessions to like, I talked about my story with them last week. I haven't offered for them to share and be vulnerable with me, because often if I'm vulnerable, and I think that's why young people are vulnerable with me, because I'm happy to share. I'm even happy to share what's going on now with them, and I do. You know, like I said to them, I will never take you for a ride. I'll always share with you my lived experience. I will never make out I'm someone I'm not.
Yeah.
So you can always approach me. Yeah.
So it's funny. So I've never met you before, ever. But I'm the chief executive of a national charity called Black Minds Matter UK. We look after mental health of the black community in the UK. And we're recently doing a program at the moment which is all about lived experience and how important lived experience is, but also from a person. And I've been struggling with this for years. I don't know if we've ever sat down and really discussed my childhood. It's not something
I know enough, but not
probably.
the deep.
So my childhood was, right, a lot. It's a lot, and it's not always appropriate for me to talk about it, especially my role as a chief executive. I can't be that vulnerable person all the time. It's not appropriate in my role. But certainly when I go out and speak on public forums like this, I'll go into a little bit more detail where appropriate. But one of the things that we've been thinking about as an organisation, and I've certainly been thinking about as a leader in regards to lived experience, which is why I also want to talk to you about the advisory board. When people have come with lived experience, they're also sometimes required to open up an awful lot of trauma.
Yeah.
And if that trauma is unhealed or
not speaking from the
acknowledged.
scar.
Yeah. How do we keep ourselves protected? Because they say that trauma is like an open wound that just kind of scabs over a little bit, but every time you talk about it, you open it again. So it never heals properly because you're always required to open it again.
Yes.
And so how do you kind of, or do you even think like that? Is there an element of you that is, okay, this is where my lived experience is appropriate and wanted.
Yes.
But this is where my experience of that has led me to sit in this space and live with just that.
Yeah, that's a good question.
That's right.
I think for me, because I've gone on, like, I've always accepted that, like, so initially, like, when my friend died, I went and sought counselling.
Yeah.
I've always had that courage.
Yes, yeah, good.
And that has come from my faith and stuff. So that has driven me towards those areas. And I think for me, the last, like, I'm 36 now, but the last 10, like, since he passed away has been a time of me growing an awareness of my trauma. So it's kind of like, it's been a journey, but on that journey, I've learned, like, you know, it's not one size fit all. And I've had to, like, navigate this. And I feel like that experience is where I can share with young people, like, just get involved, let's get started on something, and then let's shape it. Because, like, you might do something, like some therapy, and it might not be appropriate for you.
That's right.
So it's always kind of like my experience, I can buffer for them. I can be like, okay, don't just give up on that.
Yeah.
Let's look into it a bit more. Like, but also, like, at the same time, let's have the courage to face it. And I can offer that courage to them, because I've been in a place where, like, I don't want to even go there with that. Yeah.
But you can see what the requirements or what would be helpful for them perhaps in that situation would be. Cool.
Yeah.
I recovered. I've had a little wobble.
No problem.
That's all right.
Back in the game. I want to talk about this because young people are what.
Yeah.
I think that's
Our
where
passion,
I get emotional when I spend time with you or Sam, or when I never get too close to it. You'll notice. Sam will tell you, because I have like 5 experiences and I'm like,
yeah, you're right.
I haven't got this steel that you and Sam hold. I'm just in awe. What are some of the traits and challenges that you're seeing in some of these young people that you're working with? Because you're getting them in their rawest form a lot of the time. You're getting these young people come to you in their raw, and it's got a lot of anger there. What are you seeing in some of the young people that you're working with, and what are those? How quickly do you see those kind of transformations come through?
I think, it's like, I think I learnt from Romsey when I was working at Romsey Mill in Cambridge.
Big shout out to Romsey Mill. You did their first aid training there. To all the young people.
It's about intentionality, and I think I learn't that, and we were like, our work was so layered. Like, half of the stuff we weren't getting paid for, you know. Like, we were putting on this group, so there's loads of young people just being managed move, but they weren't going to school. They were like 13, 15, but at risk of a lot of, one of them passed away recently, actually, due to risky behavior. But yeah, like, we just kind of, we went above and beyond. We went that extra mile, and I mean, that's not for everyone. You can't do that, but I still have that approach even now. Like, for example, there was a school I'm working at. Some reason it ended, and I just reached out to the teacher because I had a good contact, and I invited the boys. They really needed the boxing at the time as well. Like, one of them even said to me, like, since you've gone, my aggression has got worse.
Yes, no outlet.
And no outlet,
So perfect. It's a
yes,
perfect
no
thing
outlet.
to do.
Yeah, so he's coming to this Sunday session that I do. Some other young people are actually paying for it, Cameron and Lewis.
No way.
Yeah,
so Lewis was here from midnight.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he got back. I don't know if he's
wow.
here still or,
No. Oh,
yeah,
wow.
He texted me.
Wow.
So Lewis and Captain Lewis, who was here earlier, who was asleep when you got here probably. He texted me at like 10 or something, saying, "Hey, I saw what you're doing. I just want to come and hang out."
Oh, amazing.
Yeah, you just missed them, man.
So
they learned from you.
Yeah. I like mentored them, and then they're paying for.
Yeah. Perfect. Pay it forward.
Like,
right?
I'm not waiting for anyone.
Yeah,
that's basically what I'm learning, is that I'm not waiting for anyone to give. Like, I'm not a savior. I know that, but if I can offer something, I will offer it, and I will go beyond that, because boxing is my passion.
Yeah.
Coaching it to be honest, I've been like shaping my passion. I think it's people, but in specific young people.
Young people.
I just use the boxing as an opportunity.
So you're like the male, like seriously, the male version of me in terms of my journey, right?
Yeah.
If you come from adverse childhood experiences,
Yes.
which is what we discussed,
Yes.
then what happens is you kind of develop, or what often happens is that you develop an understanding of your own experience and your own wish to break generational trauma, your own wish to never see whatever happened to you happen to anyone else. Resilience, to the point where when Alex said to you, you know, that strength comes from desensitification of the things you've been through. Because some of the things that I've been through when I was young, people would be to me, Danielle, how on earth did you get through that? I'm like, because it was just part of my life. I didn't know that was anything abnormal. I did know it was not abnormal all the time, but you have, you know, you kind of mask, or you cover it up, or whatever it may or may not be. When you get to adulthood, if you're anything like me, you develop your businesses around the feelings and thoughts around not wanting that to happen to anyone else.
Yes.
So with my business, my CIC, it was around physical mental health first aid training. Physical first aid training, because when I lived in a refuge with my mum, after domestic violence with my dad, all the women in there had children, and I was a child, and I didn't want them parents to never know what to do if their kids become injured. Or that wasn't because I had a great idea of this amazing. It was because of where I was and what I went through that led me to having an idea around what I saw as a gap.
Exactly. Yeah.
Does that make sense? And that's what happens. And it's fascinating when you hear about kind of social entrepreneurship. It's either through a gap or through lived experience.
Definitely.
And that's, for me, obviously coming from that experience, is when you find business owners who are so resilient against stuff, because actually in comparison to the stuff, this is nothing. Running a business, I'm just going to do it.
Yeah.
And you're not going to stop me from doing it. I'm going to find a way to do
That's why
it.
they tend to make fantastic entrepreneurs.
Yes, exactly. And social entrepreneurs. So, you know, you're even like the Lewis paying it forward. That's a business. That's a role in of itself, right? Pay it forward. And I'm thinking we need to hook up. Right?
That would be good.
I did say to you.
Yes, you did. He did say that, actually.
And
yes.
this man, you know, you're a humble man, but you need that.
I do.
You need that support.
Yeah.
What he's building is with a lot of context in his life. He needs our support.
Yeah. Love that.
You got that.
Yes.
You know that anyway. Do you want to talk about what you're doing right now? Because I know there was a specific thing you wanted to talk about in terms of promoting something. We've only got a couple
with
left.
Victor. Yeah. So I've been. So again, like that kind of, because I'm deeply relational, and that's how life has made me. I was working with a young man at an alternative provision in Cambridge. He came out of there. He was, you know, I don't want to slate them, like I'm not, but you know, I don't think there was guidance or what are you going to do after, basically. And he didn't have much of an idea of what he was going to do. And then he just showed interest, like he wanted to do some boxing. So because I care for my son at the moment, I have quite a bit of time where I want to actually do something for myself as well. And I enjoy the coaching. That's something that gives back to me personally. So I just said to him, let's train once a week. That turned into twice a week, turned into a period of like 6 months, 3 times a week. I was just doing that for free. But in that time, I was using all my youth work skills. We'd walk to the gym, we'd walk back. So in that time, we're having conversations about everything, you know, like work, his mental health, my mental health. I'm sharing my life with him. He's sharing his life with me, you know, and that's walking together, shoulder by shoulder, just offering as much support as I can. He ended up getting a job, but that, you know, is kind of ended now. But again, he's kind of at the place where I think he's unsure again, but he wants to box. I mean, I don't think, he's a good boxer. He's a good boxer. But there's things I need to work on him still, or someone work alongside him with, just on I think he lacks self-belief. He needs a bit of mentoring. Like, that's the thing with him. I don't necessarily, because I've offered him opportunities to be like, go to this amateur gym, but he wants that relationship with me.
Yes.
And I need to kind of help him, you know,
spread his wings.
Spread his wings, but also get the support that he needs. I think that's the thing, like you were saying with the childhood we have. We know, like, I can tell, like, there's something missing for him, because why doesn't he have that drive? Why doesn't he have that motivation? Why? Because there's a professional boxer in our gym, and he said, you could be a national champion. And I've said that to him many times, but when that guy said it to him, he smiled like, yeah, I can do this. And, you know, that guy's pretty good. And I was just thinking, but why does he not have that belief in himself?
And that's the question that it's the golden question, and it's not necessarily even something that we need to answer.
Yeah.
It's something to help them come to
Exactly.
their own realization.
Yeah.
And that's where structured mentoring can come in, or a long period of time, so you know that, because actually sometimes what underpins that is a loss. So almost thinking this is going to end.
Yes.
So I'm just going to hold on to it for as long as I can, regardless of what that looks like, just in its present guise.
Exactly.
And I just need to hold on to it. I
Growth
just need
is
to
a
hold
bit
on.
scary, actually.
Growth is very scary. And and often, like when you're in therapy, they say you have to end. Therapy has to end. You cannot walk through your life with a therapist holding your hand every day. As nice as that might be for people, you can't. You have to stand on your own 2 feet, and you have to develop resilience and ownership on your own life. But it has to be done with support and care and love.
What can we do for? Because I know Victor.
Yeah.
I've known Victor since he was a couple of years younger.
How old is he now? I think
Must be 18. Sure,
yeah, turning 18. I think this year. Yeah.
And I remember I've seen you and Sam and the love and support. What can we do for Victor?
Well, yeah. So I'm doing a crowdfund. It's just so like I can train him once a week for now, but hopefully, like maybe I'll meet other people and they can give me advice how to really like mentor him. That's my dream for him. It's not to be a professional boxer. I want him to build that resilience, that kind of that self-worth, help him to understand
and
that.
live a good life.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. Yeah. But he needs, he needs people like that. The thing is, he has access to me, then I have access to you guys, access to a bigger platform. I can offer him that support, and that's what I've tried to do with Lewis and Cameron. Is that
you've done it?
Yeah.
You've done it, and they're in a good place.
Yeah, exactly.
And you're doing it, and you're walking it.
Yeah.
So what we do off the back of today, so after every speaker, we've got a Citizen Lounge WhatsApp group that we're developing. So every speaker that comes on joins the lounge. So as the day goes, we got 41 of you. I don't know how I'm going to survive this. The rest of honestly, I've done well not to cry so far. You did it though.
God bless you.
Let's make sure we follow up.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
We follow up and let's sort it out.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Appreciate you, brother.
Yeah.
Nice
Make
to
sure
meet
you go
you.
say hello.
Thank
to
you.
Sam.
Yes.
He
Really
misses you.
excited to
Yeah,
hear
is he
about that.
upstairs?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, go see him.
I'm looking upstairs.
Yeah, someone show him upstairs.
There's some
Sam's
stairs.
up. He'd love a hug right now.
Cool. Bless
Appreciate
you.
it, man.
Nice to meet you, man.
Yeah, likewise.
Yeah, look forward to staying in touch. Don't cry, Alex. We've got someone else on. Yeah, that was great conversation. Nice to meet you. I'm on